watching WYLN TV. We're your local network.
Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Many who are unemployed or closed down businesses have financial concerns and questions. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich spoke with State Representative Tara Toohill to find out more.
Thousands of people have been out of work during the coronavirus crisis. The White House and Senate are currently working on finalizing an economic aid package to help millions of Americans. State Representative Tara Toohill of the 116th District has information for those who are unemployed and are in need of assistance now.
We're asking that you go on and you can apply at uc.pa.gov, and that's the Unemployment Compensation Fund that you can immediately apply for. You don't have to wait. There's no restrictive timeline. And if you need help with that, you can call my office and we'd be glad to assist you.
The state legislature is working on expanding the unemployment compensation law to include business owners who had to shut down because of the pandemic. We are in uncharted waters, and many have questions about financial recovery.
What we are getting a lot of calls from businesses that want to comply and restaurants that they change to being only to-go orders and pickup orders. So people are staying home. They are listening, but they're very concerned about the financial recession that they're going to experience over the last 2 weeks. And if there's an impending depression that could be even larger economically, depending on how long this situation goes on for.
Representative Toohill's office is not accepting walk-ins at this time, but resources and help are still available.
We just want to thank people for being patient and staying home and trying to do the social distancing. Please know that our office is available to you, and we'll talk you through it, and we'll help you link up with government resources that can help you.
Toohill shared more information with us about food banks, help for seniors, and domestic violence resources, which we will be bringing to you during our Thursday evening's newscast. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. Luzerne County's seen the first death caused by the coronavirus pandemic. County Manager David Pedri said the victim was a 70-year-old resident with pre-existing health conditions and recently traveled outside the U.S. Luzerne County had a total of 27 positive cases. Over 1,100 positive cases were confirmed in 44 counties statewide, and so far, 11 deaths have resulted from COVID-19. The Hazleton Police Narcotics Unit, in coordination with the Luzerne County Drug Task Force, charged a Scranton man with drug trafficking. 29-year-old Robert O'Brien Melendez, who's already incarcerated at a state correctional facility, faces additional charges of delivery of a controlled substance and criminal use of a communication facility. The charges stem from a narcotics investigation into the sale of marijuana in the city of Hazleton last November. Martz Trailways announced today the suspension of bus services into New York and Philadelphia for 2 weeks. The company's last day for the service is Friday, March 27th. Bus service to the 2 metropolitan areas is slated to start back up Monday, April 13th. Plans are still moving forward on the former Altamont Hotel building, though the physical work's been put on hold for now. Developers complied with the governor's order to close all non-life-sustaining businesses and stopped renovations to the Broad Street building. City officials are continuing development plans for the former hotel. A Bethlehem-based firm wants to create commercial space, a banquet hall, and apartments. An architect's expected to send plans to the city for the first 2 floors of the building. Work will continue once the governor's order is lifted. The Luzerne County District Attorney's Office is still operational and in constant communication with all criminal justice system involved parties. DA Stephanie Salavantis' office continues to prosecute and assist police departments in criminal investigations. She reminds residents to keep safe and protect themselves during this difficult time, while urging people to continue reporting any suspicious activity. Salavantis also said resources are still available for domestic violence victims increasingly vulnerable during this pandemic. Both sides of the aisle came to an agreement late Tuesday to take another step forward on an economic rescue package during the coronavirus pandemic. White House and Senate leaders are working on a $2 trillion package to provide some relief for workers, businesses, and the healthcare system. The package would give direct payments to most Americans and expand unemployment benefits, while providing a $367 billion program for small businesses. The agreement still needs finalizing in detailed legislative language. Pennsylvanians, don't panic through the pandemic. When it comes to our food supply, hoarding directly hurts our food banks. We've all experienced a tremendous surge in demand in our food system, like at local grocery stores. From an agricultural standpoint, there's a focus on our food system during this time of need.
My ask of you, please, is as we shop for food to be measured in our purchasing habits. We're experiencing a lot of hoarding of food, of empty shelves. And what does that mean? It certainly impacts our neighbors who have the same needs that we have. But please be mindful that we have a lot of folks who are now out of work and going to our food banks for the very first time, who are in need of food assistance that don't have, because of loss of jobs and this impact of COVID-19 on the economy, don't have the access to the retail store, and they've got to go to the food banks.
Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding took time yesterday to urge Pennsylvanians to return to their normal shopping habits to allow enough essentials for all, while the supply chain recovers from COVID-19.
Those food banks are critical at this moment, and they're trying to supply product and food to families in need. By our purchasing habits outside of the food bank is impacting the food bank. It's a system. So please be mindful that because of our need for products at home, we're putting a lot of demand and pressure on the retail setting as well as our food banks. They need our help. They need our patience. They need our understanding right now that everyone needs access to food, but that's our responsibility collectively.
Overpurchasing impacts the food system, especially the charitable food system, that's working overtime to meet increased demands for thousands of Pennsylvanians finding themselves out of work from COVID-19 mitigation efforts.
Please, don't hoard the food. Don't buy more than you need. Buy, just what the family needs for this week or two, but go back to normal patterns, and that'll allow the food system to catch up. Let it catch its breath to get all of these new people who need access to food through our charitable food system.
Redding extends a huge thank you for what farmers, food processors, volunteers, food banks, and the thousands of people do to make this system work. You're all contributing to Pennsylvania, solving problems, and sustaining life here in the Commonwealth. Thank you for what you do. Coming up on WYLN News, the Pennsylvania primary gets booted to June. Plus, the city wants the red light for shuttles to virus hotspots. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Well, partly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 56 and a low of 41. Rainy Friday through Sunday. Oh geez, but at least the temperatures are still pretty warm. We'll be right back.
Partly cloudy and a little cold out.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it. Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
Senior U.S. District Judge James Munley gave the world 83 good years before passing away Sunday from illness, surrounded by lots of love from his family. Munley's remembered as both a compassionate individual and good judge, with a reputation for always giving his assistance when needed despite having senior status, fairness, and a love for the law. Munley was appointed to a U.S. Middle District of Pennsylvania judgeship by President Bill Clinton after 20 years on the bench for the Lackawanna County Court of Common Pleas. By 2009, he assumed senior judge status. Munley leaves behind his wife of 55 years, Kathleen, and 2 daughters. With the COVID-19 pandemic in mind, the Pennsylvania primary election scheduled for April 28th was pushed back to June. WYLN's Phil Kaufman has the story.
The Pennsylvania primary election, the moment where candidates run to be the representative for their respective party, is changing its date. During our discussion with State Rep. Tara Toohill regarding the coronavirus and its effects in Pennsylvania, she also wanted to note on another change that is working its way through legislation.
The Pennsylvania legislature is changing the primary, so we were supposed to all be able to vote in the primary April 28th. And very shortly, that is going to be changed to June 2nd. The bill still will have to go through the Senate and then be signed by the governor. But because of the coronavirus, they are moving the presidential primary. It's not going to be on April 28th.
This year's primary is specifically significant, including a presidential primary. Currently, there are 2 candidates running for the presidential nomination in the Democratic Party, former Vice President Joe Biden, who holds a significant lead, and Senator Bernie Sanders. Locally, the 8th Congressional District Republican primary has multiple candidates looking to take on Democratic Congressman Matt Cartwright in the general election in November.
Constituents, we're trying to help you so that you can get mail-in ballots. You don't need an excuse for why you cannot make it to the polls, and they're trying to have as many people as possible vote by mail-in ballot because there will be less people at the polls, and if the virus is still going around at that point, that would lessen your exposure. You will be able to vote physically at the polls, but if you choose not to do that, you don't need any sort of an excuse, and you can order the mail-in ballot, and our office is happy to help you with that.
While the date of June 2nd is not final, WYLN will be continuing to follow this story as it progresses and hopes to hear from the campaigns and their upcoming strategies moving forward, and will continue to keep you informed to make sure you know when to vote. Reporting from WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thanks, Phil. People coming into Hazleton from COVID-19 hotspots like New York City have city officials concerned. Their expressed concerns center around transportation vans shuttling people to New York from Hazleton. Many of these vans are based out of state, making them potential breeding grounds for COVID-19. 2 Hazleton-based transit companies that run vans like this recently agreed to shut down their van service to New York for 2 weeks. That being said, city officials would like to limit or restrict out-of-state vans still coming into the city. After reaching out to the Public Utility Commission, responses indicate nothing can be done at this time to restrict where vans like this can travel. Coming up on Japan's News Choice, we throw it back on this Wellness Wednesday with colon health and community and you. Plus, Knoebels opening day gets a pushback. Stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
There are 125 used car dealers in town, but there's only one Churras. Quality vehicles since 1954. Voted the best used car dealer. Check out their inventory, see something you like, take a test ride. Churras Auto Sales. Call 570-454-7229.
Have your event with Whitetail, graduation, birthday, bachelor, reunion parties? They have the most tranquil backyard experience with beautiful mountains in the background. If your company or business wants a different alternative to a golf outing, they have outings that can accommodate you. You can have the entire facility to yourself. They will work with you to set up your day of events. Sporting clay competitions, trap and wobble trap games, skeet. After a day of shooting, you'll return to a meal designed for you. Call Mike at 570-535-6123 for available group options.
Children, very special in our world, and sometimes they need a little bit of help. And that's why the folks from CASA of Luzerne County are there. John Achakevich and Bill Pollard will be joining us on Talkin' NEPA so that you can find out how you can get involved. Talkin' NEPA on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesday here on WYLN, everyone. I'm Gary Perna. I'm very pleased to be joined today by Dr. Michael Mahoney, who is with Lehigh Valley Health Network. His office is out at the Health and Wellness Center. And today we're talking about colorectal cancer awareness and Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, which is March, and we are now in the thick of it. So, Dr. Mahoney, thanks so much for stopping in and talking with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, first of all, I want to talk about colorectal cancer diagnosis. It's one of the leading diagnoses we're seeing right here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Why are we seeing that? Why is that becoming popular here?
I'm not sure why it's so popular here. I know across the country it's in the top 3 cancer diagnoses for both men and women. But in the Northeast, especially Northeast Pennsylvania, it's more common than even other places in the country.
And we're seeing now a lot more screenings, a lot more early detections happening because of campaigns that are going on to get everyone aware. So what are some things that everyone at home should know about, and what are those key times and key events that we should be looking for?
Sure. So people of average risk, meaning no family history of colon cancer, no other comorbid conditions, they should start at age 50. That's typically when we start our screening process to make sure that you don't have it. The gold standard in screening is colonoscopy. But as technology moves on, there's actually at-home kits. There's several different on the market, but they're things that basically you're testing your own stool at home and mailing it out, and they mail you results within a few weeks. And I know for Colon Cancer Awareness Month, Lehigh Valley will even offer free kits at several locations.
Which is great, and this all ties into making sure everyone is as healthy and happy as we can be here. And Dr. Mahoney, early detection. So you said the golden, key right there is 50 if you don't have any family history. What if you do? What if your mom or your dad or an uncle, somebody has had it? When should we start looking, saying maybe I should get checked?
Great question. So that's a discussion to have with your doctors because it changes. It's dependent on several factors, including age of the family member. So it's not a set age. It's more of a formula that we'd have to kind of consider to your personal situation.
And of course, with anything else, having these early detections now, you have mentioned Lehigh Valley will be having them. The information's up on your screen of where you can get them in the website. Being able to get these kits makes it a little more easier for the people who are doing it, because again, getting screened, some people they know what happens and they're like, I don't want to go and do that.
It's very common. A lot of people drag their feet. Nobody's happy to come in to schedule the appointment, but it's a necessary thing. And if you can catch the cancer on the early side or even a precancerous lesion, you can either avoid surgery or have a much easier treated cancer versus if it's caught later on.
For anyone out there listening to us, what are just some tips maybe you would give out to anyone who is thinking about it and saying, you know what, well, I'm 50, I feel fine, maybe I'll wait till I'm 51. But what should you tell them? Key to say, listen, it's really important for you to do this.
Well, unfortunately, there's no symptoms of colon cancer, at least in the early stages. Colon cancer usually doesn't cause symptoms till it's much more advanced. So you don't want to wait for the symptoms to come. You don't want to wait for the warning signs. You want to catch it early, and that's through the screening tests, but ultimately through colonoscopy.
And quick, I do want to ask you, what are some of the warning signs that people may want to look out for if it has gone that far?
Anytime you see blood in your bowel movement, that's something you should at least talk with your doctor about, if not the warning sign. But unfortunately, that's about it. Okay. Until it's later on, you're not going to have pain or other issues.
So it's really important to take the advice that the doctors are giving you and get that screening. If you're age 50 and you really don't want to do it, do it. We've heard a lot of people in our past who've said, there's kind of a group of them. They challenge them to go and do it, so go and do it. Again, Lehigh Valley Health Network is providing kits. All the information has been up on your screen as well, and a great place to go for your screenings. Early detection, early screenings is very important that you live a very happy and healthy life here. Thank you, Dr. Mahoney, for stopping in and talking with us today. And thank you guys for watching. And remember, every Wednesday we try to give you some great information and great tips to keep healthy while living right here in NEPA. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton.
Tune in every Sunday night on WYLN from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on WYLN. I'll see you in the ring.
WYLN has strong ties to the community and is committed to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hands Society telethons. WYLN's commitment to Pennsylvania continues with the broadcast of Hazleton's Fun Fest Parade and the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants Despair Hill Climb. And throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other community events. WYLN, we're your local network.
A popular summertime amusement park will postpone its opening weekend by 2 weeks. Knoebels Amusement Resort in Elysburg expected to open the weekend of May 9th and 10th. The original opening was set for April 25th and 26th. Customers with campground, cottage, picnic reservations, or all-day ride passes for the weekends of April 25th or May 2nd can contact Knoebels Guest Relations for more information. Knoebels also canceled their annual job fair and will launch virtual interviews. Those interested can apply online at knoebels.com. HASD students looking to pass time while stuck at home? Look no further. The Hazleton Police Department has a fun contest for you. Kids often have a different perspective on things, and each PD feels that brings out something good in adults. So, they're asking area youth to draw them pictures in any art medium they like, and, if they want, include a small story to explain them. The reward? A large, hot and fresh Frankie's cheese pizza delivered right to their home with a goodie bag. Pictures can include an experience the child had with police that made them feel good, why being a leader and not a bully is important, a reason police are important to the community, or why it's important for people to follow the rules during self-distancing. All entries must be submitted by April 3rd, and winners will be announced April 10th. Calling all kiddos. Now's your chance to be a WYLN weather kid. Parents, your child can be our featured weather reporter of the day on both WYLN News and Facebook page, just by using any video recording device, like your smartphone. Just send us a few 15-second or less clips of your child reading the weather. Then, send your downloadable video through Facebook Messenger or by emailing them to wylnweatherkids@gmail.com. It's that easy. Be sure to include your kid's name and age as you want it to appear on our Weather Kid segments. Details can be found on our website and social media pages. That's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our WYLN News Facebook page. If you'd like to see an event promoted on our newscast, visit WYLNTV.com to submit a request form. Stay home and stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor.